Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. If Heat fans want to call in, 305-567-0560. I'd love to hear from some Heat fans today on the Jimmy Butler situation where you guys are out. Wade 06 MV3 says, Big Face Coffee about to get review bombed.
Nah, I'm about to give it 5 stars.
Is it good?
I don't know.
Well, you like this. You like Knicks chaos. You must be loving this.
No, I don't. I don't, because I thought this is – I'm really upset now. I'm upset at both parties.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really starting to become upset with Pat for allowing this. This is almost like a stain. It's a nasty stain. It's like a ketchup stain on the knife.
You think Pat should have been more preemptive?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Fam. Leroy.
Yeah. Jimmy.
He did this.
Jimmy is being Jimmy and Pat
did this in Chicago. He did this in Minnesota. He did this in Philadelphia. What made Pat think he wasn't going to do that to him?
But this is worse than all of those.
Yeah.
Because everybody knew. We knew this was going to happen.
But this is the thing that he does keep getting. He does keep feeling like, oh, we did good things together. Business, will not get in the way. And that is a blind spot.
Here's the other thing, though. In all the other situations, okay, and maybe Pat was thinking this too, Jimmy did not ever go on the court and not play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So however much attitude Jimmy gave the organization or whatever, he never didn't play basketball when he went on the court. So this is something different.
Yeah, it's worse.
But I will say this about Pat. There ain't never been a player that Pat didn't see where it was going and preemptive struck.
Well, except LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron.
Yeah, he thought
no
shot LeBron would leave.
Well, first of all, that's a whole different, right? That's a whole different thing because you're talking about one of the best to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
he still thought no shot in hell that LeBron would leave.
Yes, and I'm and because keep in mind, this was also in Pat's mind the first time he buckled a little and gave a player everything he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he probably thought, no way,
Ricardo, what's up, man? Ricardo.
Hey, what's up, Vlad?
Hey, what's up?
Yes, sir.
It's Tobin. What's up, man?
Oh, what's going on, Tobes? Sorry, I had the show on simultaneously, so I'm hearing you guys in double.
That's a big word for me,
good
dog.
morning, guys.
Good morning.
But I'm gonna be the Jimmy enthusiast over here and just say that I'm gonna be willy-nilly wily coyote over here and say, let's say, since we're putting a bunch of hypotheticals and assumptions out here, let's say 2-game suspension again, we're still keeping him at home. Let's say we can get through this charade through February 6th. Jimmy will have no choice but to play basketball at that point and just ball out.
Not really. You're making the same assumption Pat made. See, we all made the assumption, and this is the only assumption we all made based on what Jimmy said.
Yeah, because here's the worst case scenario. What I would say, Ricardo, is he could coast or whatever he's going to do after February 6th, where he said, and he was asked about that the last time he spoke to me, and he says, well, then I'll go out and hoop. But all right, he can also just opt into $50 million. He has a play.
I would say to that, yeah, and I would say that would be the last straw for both sides at that point, because one, he can't go, and then secondly, he would have no choice but to play ball. And considering they can't sit him out for the rest of the year, who knows what if that provides that spark that, okay, like both sides, like you can't do anything about it at this point. Let's just go win basketball games. And who knows, what if this is that point in that year that, okay, we can't get anything done because we're both going to be petty on both sides. So you know what? We're just going to hold you out, and then we'll leave you with no choice.
Here's the problem, though.
I would just say I feel like they've already gotten to that point.
Here's the problem, though. And then what do you do if he opts in?
Right.
And with the same attitude. Now you're signed up for 48. So that means to be petty, you're going to pay $100 million
$100 million.
And you can't be petty to the rest of your team.
Right.
Like
But
that's the point where now this is
See, I
like I said,
blame what's happening to the rest of the team
on Riles.
on Jimmy.
Oh,
Because you go on the court with them.
see,
And whenever here's a rule that all sports have, right? Once you come in this room, your contract disputes, your money issues, or whatever are out the door. Once you come in here, it's all about playing and winning games. And if you look at all the sports, they all have that same rule. You understand?
Yeah.
If you don't go in that room, you can complain about your money, right? Once you come in this room, it's about basketball. It's about football or whatever.
I get that, Leroy. But once you suspend a player 7 games,
Right.
now it becomes a part of what are you gonna do with this player for us to move on for the rest of the season?
They're
Because
trying.
no. 7-game suspension. You went on a West Coast trip. You heard what the players were saying.
Of course.
The
Yeah.
team is getting together. There's continuity.
100%.
But they figured, Riles, Mickey, and our Heat brass are gonna take care of this, and we're gonna start the season anew. Don't have to deal with all this craziness.
But
And then what happened? The closer they were getting back to that game on Friday against Denver, they lost to the Lakers. I mean, they lost to the Clippers, lost to the Lakers, lost to Denver. Great game Sunday. Tall time was
but they've mostly, since he's come back from the fake sickness,
they haven't played well.
they've gotten the doors blown off them 3 times in 4 games.
Right.
And you're right. Look, it is Jimmy's fault. I'm not absolving. Jimmy has been unprofessional. Jimmy has completely quit on this team. I'm not worried, but I'm not here to absolve Jimmy and say, hey, you reward that. Give him. But Leroy, I want to watch the team play actual basketball and be able to try and win.
Yeah, like as fans of the team, right? As fans of the team, we want to see good basketball. This is a deterrent.
Yes.
But there's ways that you have to fix it. Like, and this is why I keep mentioning the CBA. There's certain ways you have to go about it. And that's what the Heat are doing. Now, keep in mind, at no point in time in either Jimmy's career or what he said before this year, did anybody think he was going to go on the basketball court and do this. So let's be clear about that. Second of all, when Jimmy says, and I didn't want to go here, but I'm going to go here. When Jimmy says, yeah, there were some guys who,
Checked in on me.
And I know who the guys who didn't. Now all of a sudden you want boys?
Right.
When you treat them like that on the basketball court? No.
It's a bad spot to put.
No.
It's a horrible spot to put in. Not only the guys whoever's not checking in with you and you want to fake
But
that.
even more so your boys that are checking in on you.
Exactly. It puts him in a horrible spot.
Who's checking in with him? K-Love?
It could be
K-Love, Rozier, Nico.
Nico.
That's a terrible thing. Like,
he's probably thinking maybe 13, maybe
No,
maybe
come
maybe
on, man.
I
Bam.
know. Listen,
Stop,
I know.
listen, all this talk
Look,
and all this nonsense, all I have is what you're saying and what you're doing.
you're putting a horrible. You're doing a horrible job for Nikola Jovic, and I know that Nico has a lot of love for him. This man and Jimmy Butler, one, defended how they were misusing him, and 2, went to a G League game to go watch him. I know that he's got a lot of love for that kid. You're not doing right by him. Like this kid could really be something, and you're playing half-ass out there.
You're not doing well, and Jimmy, you're not. No, and this is where Jimmy, both parties at fault. Jimmy, yes, you're not a good example, and this is what pisses me off about the Heat too. You got a great young nucleus. They don't need to be.
I said that before.
They do not need to be exposed to this nastiness.
Yeah,
that is going on.
Khalil Ware was there across the locker room when that whole thing was going on, like popcorn in hand. Like he's like, "What the hell?"
Like, yeah, what is this?
It's like, what? I'm serious. I'm telling you guys. Like, I'm watching this, and he's like, he could have left. He was dressed. He's like, I'm watching.
You know what? And
How could you not want to watch the car crash?
Because there doesn't need to be a car crash. They could have easily just, put
See,
their signal on and go get out the highway.
think what everybody is trying to get accomplished is as easy as one would think. Because keep in mind, Jimmy says he only wants to go to Phoenix.
Mhm.
I'm more than damn sure if he would have, and remember,
He had originally said he'll play for any
he
team
played for
other
any
than
other team.
Miami.
So let's go there.
So then he did, yeah.
So
That was a
all
lie.
the things
He's
saying.
Hey, guess what, guys? He lies.
Right.
He's a liar.
So now
Don't say.
He's a liar.
So
Wow.
now
What are we talking about?
So now we can't sit here and say that all this and to accomplish all this is going to happen in a couple of days. But Jimmy's turning up the heat.
No,
You
I
just want to
understand.
tell him stay home.
No.
Literally and figuratively
But
speaking.
we can say now it's been a couple. Dude, this has now been going on for a month.
Yeah.
A month.
Yeah, but you know how trades work.
Fine.
They usually come right before. Wait, it's not just this year. It's not just the years past. Most trades happen the week of the deadline.
This
Right?
is 15 minutes of heat, which are brought to you by Hollywood Kia. The big game is
About
here.
30.
Tackle
They gave you a
game-winning
bonus.
deals during the handoff drive-off event at Hollywood Kia. Get $1,000 lease bonus cash towards your new Kia. Plus, we'll double your down payment up to $3,000. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. Call 832-930-6181. We will get some heat calls on the other side, 305-567-0560. Back after this.
We got, well, who else is on the team? And Elsa goes, hey, you know the pregnant girl over at I'm like, what?
We
She
thought there
goes-
was a
she
pregnant
goes,
woman
wait,
on the
wait,
team. That was
let me
crazy.
finish. I'm like, this is what we do. We don't never let people finish before we jump down their throat. Her husband, he's 6. So there's nobody's
Damn.
over 5'5" except for him. He's over 6 foot.
But I'm confused. Is she on the team or the husband?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
What she
does
said,
he work with us?
did you
I'm
know
very
the pregnant
confused.
girl over there?
Well, hold on. There's people on the other teams that I know definitely did not work at some of these stations.
They got
yeah.
ringers.
What? You can't have no 6'8",
I don't
18-year-old
think
who
but
could
is
like
he 6'8"
jump.
or is he 6 foot? Like if you need a
No,
ringer.
I'm talking about no. And J Fig can be honest. The team that we lost to.
So the rumor on the street is
Uh-huh.
they're not playing this year.
Oh
So
no,
we might have a chance.
I don't think you guys have a chance.
you guys have no.
Can I just tell you? And so I warned her.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, don't go up in there and get crossed up like Gabby did last year.
Okay.
Ooh,
Well, that was bad coaching by Marcos.
Marcos was he was over there
That was-
trying to
that was
edit
wrong.
his
I cannot take
layup.
accountability for that one. That was all him.
Quickly, let's get to the road to repeat here. Brought to you by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
Your Florida Panthers.
Cats. Lose to the LA
Mm.
Kings last night. 2-1. Give up 2 in the
2-1
third
filthy.
period. 2-1 filthy. They lose, so they will try and bounce back coming up this weekend. Lucas, what's going on, Lucas?
What's going on, guys? Big fan of the show. I'm a big Heat super fan, so I'm usually on Tobin's side of pretty much everything. But let me tell you, love you, Leroy, but I'm on your side on this. Tobin, I think you are completely dissolving Jimmy of a lot of blame on a lot of this. And listen, I know the argument of wanting to keep him home, all that. But listen, like I think he's being a big crybaby. I love the guy, but I'm so sick of adding that qualifier at this point. But I think he's being a big crybaby in a lot of this. And I think the Heat are just doing their job and reacting to what he's doing. And I'd love to hear what you think about that.
Well, let me ask you before you go.
What's up?
Do you want him to play on Monday?
Oh, well, if it's my want, I trade him, but it's really not up to the Heat right now.
I'm saying no trade. I'm saying the suspension's up on Monday. Do you want him to play for the Miami Heat? Like,
if he's still on the roster, I would not want him to. So I guess at that point, I would kind of agree with you. But I
sounds
think,
like you're boxed in.
in general,
Sounds like you're
I
boxed in.
think.
Now you know how I feel.
That
Kind
sounds
of
like you're
boxed
boxed
in.
in.
Yeah,
Sounds like you're boxed in, Lucas. I love you.
If
but-
I could say one more thing,
Sure.
If I could say one more thing, I think in general, Tobin, listen, I love you. I've been in your side on for years. But I think in general, I think you're just looking at the Heat a lot in this situation. I think it's 99% Jimmy's fault.
I listen.
Here.
Thank you for mostly being on my side, except now.
This
what I
breaks it down. This whole Jimmy situation started with Tobin's question. Brendan asking Pat that question was the genesis of this drama.
Not my fault.
Call him Brendan.
I don't like that.
That's what I'm just reading.
I don't like. No, I'm not. Look, I don't want to do. You guys can throw tomatoes at me if you want to. It's not my fault. It's not my fault, and I'm not absolving Jimmy of blame. I'm trying to. I'm really not though. Like all I'm trying to tell you is
you're trying to get to a solution.
If you want to keep suspending him, suspend him the rest of the season. If the Miami Heat were legally allowed to, and I could say, hey,
they would.
If Jimmy was allowed to be suspended for the rest of the season for how he's acted, I would be all for that.
They can't.
I would be all for that.
Collective bargaining. So you got to go about things a certain way.
Jimmy has been completely lame. He has been a crybaby. He has quit on his team. If the Miami Heat were allowed to suspend him for the rest of the season and they could take the rest of his contract, I would be for it. However, they are not. And so I would like to quit doing this stop and start game. Oh, he's back. Is he not coming back? Is he going to give effort? Is he not going to give effort? Enough. I just want to watch the Heat. I want to watch tall time. Work out a trade. If you can't, I'm not saying take a bad trade. Don't miss my words here. I'm not saying I'm taking Bradley Beal. You got me there. But what I am saying is, hey, let's put the gas on this a little bit, which apparently they have, but maybe now the Bucks aren't in on Bradley Beal, whatever. I don't care. All I'm saying is the solution needs to be found, and I cannot have this guy stepping on the court for the team anymore. He doesn't try and win. So if there was an option to suspend him for the rest of the year, Old Toes would be for it. But there's not. So let's find an actual solution onto getting. I know it would make the locker room happy. It would certainly make Spo happy. I'm sure it wouldn't make Mickey happy, because why would you want to pay somebody $500,000 for every game?
Let me read this one, because this is not accurate. MacMahon. See, I did the same thing.
Who the hell's MacMahon? Why would you be MacMahon?
I don't know. Maybe it was taken. You know how internet works.
Sure.
The Jimmy drama is not affecting the team. It's just affecting the media. That is not accurate. Dude, those guys just look beat up.
There's nobody it's
stuck in the middle.
Trust me, there's nobody that's affecting less than the media.
Right.
The media loves this.
Right.
The national media loves this. It's drama nonstop. The local media, I guess, hey, is Jimmy going to speak today? Nah. I can tell you one thing, as somebody who's covered this team, it's not that different. Jimmy walked out the other day. It's like, did Jimmy speak? Nope, left. Oh, that's kind of like every other season. Spoke once a week.
So checking the internet, they do say that a sports team can send a player home paid, meaning they will continue to receive their salary even though they are not actively participating with the team. It's usually due to injury, disciplinary reasons, or strategic decision to rest the player.